All right, goes the family. Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully, you guys having a great and exceptional day. Well, it is that time of the week, family, where I have the opportunity to talk about Black-owned businesses. You know, I try to do this once a week. I look for articles that show a lot of the great and positive things that are happening within the Black community in the United States of America, whether it's Foundation of Black Americans, Caribbean Black immigrants, or Black people from the continent of Africa. So anyways, today I have the pleasure of, or we're talking about Central and South Americans, Black Americans as well. So today I have the pleasure of talking about Mr. Robert Pauls, who, according to the article that I read today, is a very great, successful entrepreneur that owns up to 12 McDonald's franchises in the state of Wisconsin. And you know, he would have never thought that he would have been as successful as he is now when he was a child, growing up with 9 siblings, being raised by a single mother. So before I go forward, I was raised by a single mother, and that was another thing that stood out to me on this article. It's not always about how you're raised. It's not about where you were raised. It's all about your strong will and determination to get things done. Now, does having both parents make life a little easier? I definitely agree with that 100%. But a lot of times the struggle sparks the hustle at the end of the day in your life, all right? But now he is one of the largest African-American employers in the state of Wisconsin, and he is using his past experiences as his motivation, which I just stated earlier. I love this because to be successful in any fast food industry is very, very hard and requires lots and lots of hard work and lots of dedication, 24/7, 7 days a week. Especially when it comes to breaking into the McDonald's business, because most people do not realize that McDonald's as a whole is mostly a real estate business, not just a fast food business. Meaning that McDonald's as a corporation purchases the real estate that the McDonald's franchisee has their restaurant on. And I believe that cost to buy into the franchise is $100,000. And if you ever really want to get more information on it, obviously you can look online and check into that yourself. But one of the greatest movies that were made about the McDonald's franchise as a whole was called The Founder with Michael Keaton. Great movie, check it out. The article also stated that Mr. Pauls started in the service industry as a part-time job. You know, it started off as a part-time job when he was stationed in the state of Wyoming, of all places, to earn income while serving in the United States Air Force. Thank you for your service, sir. Since then, he realized he loved serving customers, and that's what he wanted to do with his life, not just being in the military. He completed the McDonald's ownership training program within 2.5 years. He then took the opportunity to open up a McDonald's location in Milwaukee, as suggested by the former CEO of McDonald's Corporation, Don Thompson. He opened his first McDonald's on February 14, 1998. Heck, I was still in high school at the time. He admitted that it wasn't easy at first with all the demands of the fast food industry, and it's definitely a fast-paced industry all at the same time. But stopping isn't one of his options. He says, "I told myself," and I quote, "never to let them see you sweat." He said, "I knew I had to hold true to what I believed before I go on. I love the fact that Mr. Pauls was serving his country in Wyoming, of all places, made money on the side, utilized the opportunity to make extra income on the side, and then turn his side job into a full-time economic business opportunity." Now, before I go on, I remember back when I used to work 2 to 3 jobs, I worked as a security guard. You know, it was very, easy money, met a lot of great people, got into a couple of situations, the securing the property and whatnot. But I remember meeting people who were getting the game as a security officer, and they utilized getting the game as a security officer, figured out how they could break into owning their own security company and getting their own security contracts. They went from being a security officer to being a manager, then getting more and more chummy with the vice presidents and owners to learn about the business side of the house. Took some courses at community college, and has gained various contracts with corporations, local, state, and federal government all at the same time. A lot of times it's not all about the education you get, but it's about where you're located at and the opportunity. The article also stated that from one location, he opened another in the next year, and it continued growing over the years to up to 12 locations now. Despite that, Mr. Pauls believes that success in business isn't measured by growth. He said, and I quote, "You must prepare for growth and pay close attention to profitability. You can have less stores and be more profitable," he said. "My goal wasn't necessarily to keep adding stores. His goal was obviously to become better at what he does all at the same time." because sometimes you could overdo yourself, kind of like Elon Musk is doing right now, and your focus isn't where it needs to be, and therefore other things suffer all at the same time, whether it's business, other businesses, your health, your family, etc., and so forth. He stated, and I quote, "I wanted to create a training center environment to let people see that an African American operator can operate at a certain level and trust and believe when one owns any restaurant, you are going to work your butt off. And if you own multiple locations, you are going to have even more sleepless nights, all at the same time, family." The article stated that with about 45 employees at each location, he employs around 600 people in all. Aside from providing jobs to the community, he wanted to ease the burden of his employees in finding affordable housing near work. So he partnered with a friend who has a construction business and started Magnolia Realty, with obviously other streams of income. Another thing to take into consideration, wherein they purchase foreclosed properties near the McDonald's stores, rebuilt it, and sells them at a reasonable price. Beautiful thing, giving back to the community and making a profit all at the same time. The article ended on this note stating that from his rough childhood as one of the 9 children raised by a single mother, Mr. Powles now lives comfortably with his wife and 3 children who work with him in the business, which is a beautiful thing. That's how you pass down generational wealth. You get them involved, you don't just pass it down. And he wants to inspire others to achieve what he has achieved as well. I think it's really important to be both visible and accessible in the community. He stated, "It's not enough for me alone to be successful." He says, "My goal is to help others get approved for McDonald's ownership." He says, "I started with my wife because there's no inherited ownership in the event that an owner passes away. Now I'm working on getting others approved." And see, that's what it's all about. You know, you don't have to give people a hand out, but you give people a hand up. And the fact that he was able to not hope, because a lot of people, especially unfortunately in the black community, will become successful and hold all that information and it won't not big on mentoring at all. And nobody's saying you got to give money away, but especially in today's world, one can just have a podcast if they just want to give out great information. But the fact that he has his own training center, the fact that he partnered up with somebody to have their own construction company to buy fix and flip properties so that they can actually create more affordable housing for their actual employees, because majority of McDonald's employees make minimum wage, was a beautiful thing. Selling the houses at a reasonable price, and that's the beautiful thing. I think great things happen to people, not when they just make a lot of money, and not when they give out a lot of money, but when they do great things to help people give themselves a hand up and not a handout. By allowing people to be able to live closer to their job, that means they can walk to work and not have to drive to work. So if they have a car, cool. If they don't, and if the car breaks down, then they could just walk to work and things of that nature. Take an Uber, take the bus, do things that's much more affordable. Then obviously making it more easier for people to become McDonald's owners, not just workers, is a beautiful thing. Because remember, and this is the thing I learned from Damon Dash, in today's economy, a lot of the newer businesses that are being created in multiple spaces, not just the entertainment spaces, but multiple spaces, employers are looking to find people. They're looking to find people who want to be entrepreneurs and go after the goals and aspirations, not just be a great employee, because the mindset has shifted and changed, and clearly that's what this gentleman is doing here. So I have nothing but respect for you, Mr. Powles, and I just commend you on your current and your future endeavors. God bless you and your family, and thank you for serving your country. And he's just a beautiful example of, hey, I was in the military, but it doesn't mean that's where I need to end. Doesn't mean I just need to go get a federal job or become a government contractor. I can become a business owner. And obviously, in fact, with him being in the military, he was able to, I'm sure he has taken, because I don't know for sure, but I'm hoping that he took advantage of small business administration loans and whatnot, since he's a minority, and plus he was in the military. So it's a beautiful thing all at the same time. Speaking of which, support your black-owned businesses. Don't forget to check out my online stores. We sell a variety of products. Get your Make Money Moves or Live Broke Like a Fool t-shirt there and all that great stuff. And hey, it's all good in the neighborhood. If you're a stock market investor, crypto investor, individual, retirement account investor, don't forget to check out WEBULL, Stash, Acorns, Crypto.com. All those great platforms, you'll be able to make some money move, specifically with WEBULL. And the other ones, hey, be able to make some money. I advocate everybody, especially working people, to have an individual retirement account. Not giving out financial advice, do your own research. But it's just a personal version of having a 401k, and a lot of employers still do not offer a 401k. And we live in the day of no pension plan, so you have to have some sort of a retirement plan, which is a very different thing from a pension plan. So look into it, go from there, and make moves so you don't make money moves, so you don't live broke like a fool, because that is the world that we're living in. It's all about that personal responsibility, regardless of sitting in the White House, governor's house, mayor's house, county board of supervisors house. All that stuff becomes irrelevant when you are operating as a corporation. You, your family, your friends, you guys are making money move so you don't live broke like a fool. That's what it's all about. So on that note, Remember, you can't get fired if you own the company. It's 2023, and Mr. Piles owns multiple stores and multiple companies. So on that note, do the great thing, free things. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. Make money moves, or you're going to live broke like a fool. Take care.